through strife or vainglory. Teach us to live lives that reflect these promises from your word. We commit our time to you and ask the decision-making that is to be done would teach us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. We'll turn and face the flag. Head over heart and pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. To work on our time. Item number 3 is the roll call. Mr. Wood.
Did you hear?
Oh, here.
I didn't
Mr.
hear
Flores.
what you were saying. Sorry about that.
Mr. Best.
I am here.
Ms. Persifka.
Here.
And Mr. Science.
Here, sir.
All right, all members are present. The regular session of October 1st, 2015 is hereby recessed to hold an executive session pursuant to Chapter 551, Texas Government Code, Subchapter D, as it pertains to consultation with an attorney. 551.071, executive session matters may be discussed and acted upon if appropriate in open session. Time is 6:02 p.m. The regular session of October 1st, 2015 is hereby reconvened. The time is 6:30 p.m. Item number 6, discussion possible action to reconsider and/or rescind the appointment of Larry Pippen as council member to represent the citizens of District 6 as council member District 6. Mr. Flores.
I move to reconsider or rescind the appointment of Larry Pippen as council member to represent the citizens of District 6 as council member of District 6.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to rescind the appointment of Larry Pippen as council member to represent the citizens of District 6 as council member District 6. Any discussion? None will proceed to the vote. Those in favor of the motion, please raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 7 is consent agenda. Item number A is approval of the minutes of the regular session of September 17, 2015. Item B is approval of the final plat for Pleasanton ISD Agri-Science Subdivision.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Best.
I move to approve consent agenda items A and B.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve consent agenda items number A and B. Any discussion? None will proceed to the vote. Those in favor of the motion, please raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. If there's no objection, I'm going to dismiss agenda item number 8.
And 9.
Item number 8 is dismissed. Item number 9 is selection of mayor pro tempore. Mr. Wood,
Nominate Mr. Best.
Second.
any other nominations? Being only one, all those in favor of Mr. Best, please raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Mr. Best is mayor pro tem. Item number 10 is appraisal district, Atascosa County Appraisal District Report.
Yes. Mayor.
Item number 11 is citizens' comments. If you're a citizen over a taxpayer to the city, you may speak at this time. Please keep your comments to 2 minutes. Know that council and staff may not comment. Item number 12, departmental reports.
Public Works Director's report will be given by Mr. Weezer this evening. All department head reports and monthly staff reports will be as submitted. We'll move to the managers and the mayor's message from that point, Mayor.
Okay.
Evening, Council Mayor.
Evening.
On the utilities department, the main yard well is down with a booster pump and electrical issues. Crews have been working on several service water leaks throughout the city, which were mainly from old galvanized and polypipe. Ground shifts from the dry and wet weather, plus deteriorating services are attributed to these leaks. Our water main project, the construction crew has reached the intersection of Binsdale and Haverla Road. They have installed the fire hydrant and have continued on Haverla towards the pecan orchard. This week, they will begin to test the water line, hydrostatic testing the water line that has been laid up all the way up to 476, so that the street department can plan for the repairs on Yosemite and Yellowstone. Landmark, our water tank contractor, has had no activity at the water tank project. The painters are scheduled to be on the be here on the week of the 12th. They were held up on a project in Oklahoma. The street CIP project, contractor continues to work on Cynthia Street, completing the finished base grade. Concrete curb is being prepped as we speak, and hopefully they'll start pouring by tomorrow. The street department crews continue mowing right of ways and completing various service orders. Next week, JJ has scheduled to continue trimming low-hanging limbs around this bus routes. JJ also worked on the repairs to the airport fuel card system and replaced the LCD screen, and a new printer was ordered. Hopefully we'll take care of that. That completes my report, but before I would like to introduce Greg Leash. He's our new park superintendent that we just hired. He comes all the way from Lubbock. His degree is in horticultural from Texas State, so we're hoping to use his experience in the turf management to help us out with turf management.
Welcome aboard.
Yes.
And the Parks Department is as submitted, the report.
Any questions for Mr. Weezer? Thank you, Mr. Weezer.
Thank you.
Item number 13 is City Manager's Report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'll just briefly go through a few items with you. Our new budget year actually started today. Technically, Miss Bandy says no POs can be submitted for 2 more weeks, but she has closed out the year. I have a feeling that you all are going to get some really good news about revenues and expenditures. As you know, we had quite a challenge with the utility system being behind over $1 million in revenue because of the wet spring and early summer, due to the prudent nature of managing their assets and their operations and maintenance schedules. Mr. Weezer, Mr. Guerra, Mr. Alviso brought the utility system in at about $500,000 under on expenses over the revenues that were still under budget, and they're really to be commended by that. General fund had a great year. Even with the $600 and some odd thousand in capital expenditures that were directed by the council that were not a part of the budget, we still came in under on expenses, and I won't steal any more of her thunder because we had a trot through City Hall and everybody was getting a high five at about 10 minutes till 5 this afternoon. So, Parks Master Plan and contract amendments, Mr. Weezer, Mr. Peterson, and myself are about finished with the initial review and edit. We will meet next week. We will be in contact with the consultant to make the appropriate changes. The contract amendments, as you all know, was the multi-event center complex, which would include facilities for rodeos, antique car shows, and some of those types of things. We'll begin review of that after they begin putting the final edits that we want in the Parks Master Plan. I can tell you it is a very consuming document. It's a very consuming program of projects, renovations, new complexes, practice fields, skateboard parks, everything that was emphasized from the public, from the school district, and from the council is in this plan. Public safety initiatives. We will have a meeting with the businesses. Letters will be sent out 11:30, October 15th in the Civic Center. That meeting is sponsored by Ms. Pacifica, Mr. Best, moderated by the mayor, and the police chief will be the star of the morning. He is going to give a educational training session to some of our business owners who attend on some of the things they can do to prevent crime. We're going to see if we can get a few snacks in, since it's through the lunch hour of 11:30 to 1, and there will be a sign-up sheet for those businesses who want to have an individual security assessment done by our Criminal Investigation Division. So we're very excited about that. A couple of other mentions here. The school district bond program in progress. We have issued the site development permits for the agricultural building and the additions at the primary school. We continue to work with the school district on other issues. We have some property challenges up where the elementary school is going to be built. There was some land that was traded way back in the 90s, and we've discovered through the fact that the school district's trying to plat the property There's still an alleyway on that property that's owned by the city. We're researching to find out if the city ever abandoned the alleyway and a deed was produced to the school district. As we all know, right-of-ways are not deeded, they're platted or recorded in the county courthouse. So we're researching that. I met with Dr. Mann yesterday at length about that, and we're trying to piece that puzzle back together. Mr. Rainey has assured us that once Mr. Weezar is satisfied with the site development work at the ag complex and at the primary school, then Mr. Weezar, based on the procedures we follow, will give his nod to Mr. Rainey to release the building permits, and those two projects will be off and running. City Hall staff has been examining, analyzing, and researching what we need to do to provide a level of customer service and redundancy at City Hall. As you all know, we have reduced a position at City Hall in accounts receivable due to the number of folks who are paying utility bills online. However, that still leaves us with challenges from time to time. We only need to have one person out on vacation and another one call in with a circumstance for us to kind of be caught in a challenging area, especially around to the 25th. We've been looking at what we can do to close City Hall 1 hour a day, much like the court closes, but still provide that service for those folks who have 11 to 12 lunches, 12 to 1 lunches, and 1 to 2 lunches. There's nothing worse. The mayor's even mentioned it to me that his wife sat in line for about 35 minutes one day and finally gave up at the drive-through window. It was because we had one person out on vacation and another one called in sick, and we were trying to do the stopgap, if you will.
I wasn't going to say anything, but she made me.
Best thing to get these hours changed. But, you know, we'll talk to you all about it, but we're looking right now, or we're exploring the opportunity right now to possibly close City Hall between 12:30 and 1:30 each day, and we would ask the court to abide by that with us. That would give those folks that have 11 or 12 lunch hour to come in here and do their business. It would give those folks who have a 12 to 1 lunch hour to come in here and do their business. And it would give those folks who have a 1 to 2 o'clock lunch hour to still come do their business. We feel like that not only, and I've talked to the chief about this, not only from the customer service perspective, but from the security perspective, because we can't all be here all the time. There's a limited number of men in City Hall, and we would certainly hate for something to happen with 2 or 3 people out for lunch and both men gone at the same time, although Mr. Aguirre and I don't try to leave at the same time. So we plan on bringing that to you all in the near future, and hope to get an endorsement from you all. This is a change, but it's a positive change. We don't have to keep doing things the way we've done things for the last 40 years. And with the heightened awareness in our society, we don't have to speak about the things that have gone on most recently. And today it happened in Oregon again. Last count I heard, there were 10 deceased people. We don't need that here. And so I'll leave it at that, Mayor. We'll bring it to you all in the near future, and I'll stand for any questions or sit for any questions or comments.
Questions for Mr. Pearson? Thank you, Mr. Pearson. Item 14 is mayor's message and announcements. One is there was a boot squad, which is part of the Boots campaign. I think everybody's sitting over there, and most of us up here have bought boots from the Boots campaign. And there was how many from the city?
About 80. How many? 89.
8. Well, that's the boots, but how many people went to the?
About 60.
So about 60 people went to get trained to volunteer for this, and that'll cut down on what they have to spend administratively because these volunteers are going to help. So we appreciate everybody who did that.
Mayor, if I could indulge the council for one more minute, if you're finished with your message. We received a letter from a couple of citizens here. I did ask the mayor if he'd like to read it. He said, no, it's addressed to you. You please read it. This is from George and Betty Allen on Eagle Nest, and a lot of us know the Allens real well. Dear Mr. Pearson, we had a fire at our rent house at 831 Dallas Street. We want to thank the fire department and the fire marshal for everything they did. Chuck kept us informed and let us know it was electric wire in the attic. He told us they did not use much water and had the furniture covered with a waterproof cloth. After the fire, some of the firemen swept and mopped water out of the house. Wow. I don't see that on our local news.
Nope.
We called Chuck, and thanked him again and are sending a donation to the fire department. Now, for George Allen, that's quite a deal. I talked to George today and graciously thanked him. And Chuck, my hat's off to you. That's the ultimate in customer service, and that's the
Thanks, Chief. All right, we'll move on to item number 15 is ordinances and resolutions. Item number A is second reading and adoption of ordinance number 15-1155, amending the ordinance number 14-1117, establishing a 10-year exclusive franchise agreement with BFI Waste Services of Texas, LP, DBA Allied Waste Services of San Antonio, DBA Republic Services of San Antonio, with applicable fees and services. Ordinance number 15-1155, an ordinance awarding an exclusive franchise agreement contract within the city of Pleasanton and its jurisdictional boundaries, Atascosa County, Texas, to BFI Waste Services of Texas, LP, DBA Allied Waste Services of San Antonio, DBA Republic Services of San Antonio, of establishing a term for the exclusive franchise contract, establishing the responsibilities of the contractor, city, and its customers in the collection of disposal of solid waste, providing for enforcement and for the collection of disposal of solid waste, establishing rates and payment for collection of solid waste, authorizing the mayor to execute a contract, providing for severability and other legal rights, providing an effective date and repealing all ordinances with solid waste provisions in conflict, and promoting the safety and general welfare of the community.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Best.
I move to adopt ordinance number 15-1155, amending ordinance number 14-1117, establishing a 10-year exclusive franchise agreement with BFI Waste Services of Texas, LP, DBA Allied Waste Services of San Antonio, DBA Republic Services of San Antonio, with applicable fees for services.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt ordinance number 15-1155, amending ordinance number 14-1117, establishing a 10-year exclusive franchise agreement with BFI Waste Services of San Antonio, LP, DBA Allied Waste Services of San Antonio, DBA Republic Services of San Antonio, with applicable fees and services. Any discussion? None will proceed to the vote. All those in favor of the motion, please raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Ordinance is adopted. Item number B is reading and adoption of resolution number 148-15, requesting public support for the updated municipal airport layout and request for federal and state assistance in accommodating existing and future airport development. And it's 148-15.
It's 148-15.
It is.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Best.
I move to adopt resolution number 148-15, requesting public support of its updated municipal airport layout plan and request for federal and state assistance in accommodating existing and future airport development.
Second.
Moved and seconded to adopt resolution number 148-15, requesting public support for its updated municipal airport layout plan and request for federal and state assistance accommodating the existing and future airport development. Any discussion? None will proceed to the vote. As favor of the motion, please raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Resolution is adopted. Item number 16 is presentation and discussion concerning the 4th Annual Council Appreciation Picnic on October 16th, 2015. Committee Chair.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. In front of you, you should have received an invitation. Okay. The City of Pleasanton employees invites the Mayor, Council, and their families to the 4th Annual Council Appreciation Picnic on October 16, 2015. Join us at the River Park Pavilion number 2, where there will be food, fun, and games between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. as we celebrate our appreciation to you for everything that you have done for the employees and for the support of the city. We do wish to see you there and be a part of the festivities. Again, a special thanks to you all for everything you have done for us, the employees.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Very nice. Item number 17, discussion action to waive all fees associated with the rental pavilion number 2 for the Time Savers Luncheon, honoring first responders. How about that? On October 15th, 2015, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Mr. Peterson,
Yes,
snuck up there.
did you want me to say anything? Just acquire Adam.
We'll be quiet.
You recommend approval.
They forget so quickly.
They do. I do, yes. And I'll stand for any questions.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Best.
I move to waive all fees associated with rental of Pavilion Number 2 for the Time Savers Luncheon honoring first responders on October 15th, 2015, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to waive all fees associated with the rental pavilion number 2 for the Time Savers Luncheon honoring first responders on October 15, 2015, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Any discussion? None will proceed to the vote. Those in favor of the motion, please raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 18 is discussion action to grant a variance of ordinance number 15-1133, setting terms and fees for Cowboy Homecoming and Turn and Burn event sponsored by the Pleasanton Chamber of Commerce. Any questions for the chief?
Yes.
Why?
I got
Take your time, chief.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Best.
I move to grant a variance to ordinance number 15-1133, setting terms and fees for the Cowboy Homecoming and Turn and Burn events sponsored by the Pleasanton Chamber of Commerce.
It's moved and seconded to grant a variance of ordinance number 15-1133, setting terms and fees for Cowboy Homecoming and Turn and Burn events sponsored by the Pleasanton Chamber of Commerce. Any discussion? Or questions for the chief? None will proceed to the vote. Those in favor of the motion, please raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 19, discussion and action to assist the Pleasanton Lady Eagles 5K run with traffic control through the city streets on November 21st, 2015, from 6 p.m. until 10 a.m. Chief, you're okay with that? 10 p.m.?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Best.
I move to assist the Pleasanton Lady Eagles 5K run with traffic control through city streets on November 21, 2015, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to assist the Pleasant Lady Eagles 5K run with traffic control through the city streets on November 21, 2015, from 6 p.m. until 10 a.m. 10 p.m. Any discussion? None will proceed to the vote. All those in favor of the motion, please raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 20 is discussion action to allow the temporary closure of Yorktown Street in the Williamsburg Estate subdivision on October 31st, 2015, from 5 p.m. till 10 p.m. And you're okay with this, Chief?
Yes, Mayor.
Mr. Flores.
Move that we allow the temporary closure of Yorktown Street in the Williamsburg subdivision on October the 31st from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. If it's all right with the police chief.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to allow temporary street closure for Yorktown Street in the Williamsburg Estate subdivision on October 31st, 2015, from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Best.
the specifics for closing it?
Yes, that's whatever.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Could you
Best, I
explain
didn't
to
hear.
us the specifics for closing the street?
There's not really an outlet there, and that particular neighborhood has a lot of trailers come through with bales of hay, and it creates a huge bottleneck, and there's a lot of trick-or-treaters, and
mainly
it's a
for
safety issue, and they're just trying to prevent a trick-or-treater from getting hurt.
You're gonna have traffic control there, ain't you?
We'll have officers in the area, yes, sir.
Any other discussion? Mr. Wood.
On this deal, has everybody on that street agreed with this, or?
Yes, sir, they all signed, and they're,
All of them, though.
yes, sir, everyone is in agreement on that street.
Thank you.
Other questions?
I was just,
Ms.
I'm sorry. I was just wondering if other subdivisions are, have that idea in mind. Do they need to have a sign sheet? Yeah.
You don't want to inconvenience just one family in the
Yeah, right.
neighborhood.
Just
If
worry about
everyone
it.
is in agreement with it, I think it's a great idea, but it would I would believe that we would need to have 100% participation.
Okay.
from
Very good.
Everyone on the block.
Thank you.
Discussion? None will proceed to the vote. Those in favor of the motion, please raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Thanks, Chief. Thank you, Mayor. Item number 21 is review of the bills. If anyone has a bill they'd like to review, please speak at this time. If not, item 22.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Best.
move to adjourn.
Moving second, we adjourn. All those in favor of the motion,
Everybody
please raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Meeting is adjourned at 6:53 PM.